Okay, this is chapter 5 on 5.1, solving inequalities with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So solving inequalities is the same way you solve equations. So graph on a number line, you have an open circle that does not include the value of the solution. A closed circle does include the value of the solution. So the variable must always be on the left side in order to graph something like this. So if you have an open circle graph, that means it's greater than. So the arrow points to the right like the greater than symbol. If you have a less than, the arrow, you have an open circle and an arrow pointing to the right, just like the less than symbol points left. Okay, open circle doesn't include that point. Open circle doesn't include that point. Whereas if you have a closed circle, that means equal to, greater than or equal to, the symbol, the arrow is the same arrow, greater than pointing to the right, or equal to filled in circle. So, and it also means at least. Anytime you hear the words at least, that's the greater than or equal to a symbol. And then, because think about at least, it's at least this, but greater than that. So less than or equal to is a filled in circle because it's equal to that value there, and less than, so the arrow points left because see how the end of the arrow is the same. Less than or equal to is that symbol, and that means at most. At most means it's at most this, but less than that. Okay, and that's addition and subtraction. Now we get into multiplication, division of inequalities. So we're going to solve like an equation, and if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you switch the sign at the end. So if we have negative 2x greater than 10 and we divide by negative 2 to solve this, we switch that symbol to be from greater than to less than, and then 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So we'd have an open circle at negative 5 because of the less than symbol, an arrow pointing left. That symbol must be the same as that arrow. Number 2, negative 90 is less than or equal to negative 15p. We're going to divide by negative 15 just like we would with equalities, but this is an inequality, so when we divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, you change the symbol from less than or equal to greater than or equal to. So this is going to be p, and that symbol changes, and this is 6. Now we got to flip this fraction around, and p has to go on the left, the 6 has to go on the right, and you see how that points towards the p, so we got to point it towards the p. So this means p less than or equal to 6, which means a filled in dot at 6 and an arrow pointing to the left, just like that symbol points to the left. And number 3, if we had h over negative h over 10 is less than or equal to 2, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 10 over 1, both sides. And we get h, and when we multiplied by a negative, you change the sign from less than or equal to greater than or equal to, and 2 minus times negative 10 is negative 20. So you have h greater than or equal to negative 20. So the closed circle and an arrow pointing to the right like the symbol. Closed circle at negative 20, arrow pointing to the right. And we have division. 2x is greater than negative 10. If we divide by 2, we get x. And now we don't change the symbol because we didn't divide by a negative. Okay? Only if it's a negative do we change the symbol. So this is x greater than negative 5. So divide by a positive, not negative. Do not change the symbol or the sign. Okay? And that's it for your notes on section 5.1 and 5.2.